What is going on, guys? Corrosive Bullet here, and today we are going to be talking about more reveals going for the Giblet and Shallot Legend starter decks that are going to be releasing in just a couple weeks, actually. Not that far away, about 3 weeks or so. So, yeah, let's kind of get into it. So we're going to start with Giblet. From what someone referenced to me in my last video talking about these starter decks, someone kind of made it clear for me. At the time when I made that video, I was extremely jet lagged. I was just like back from Colorado. I was tired that morning. I wasn't quite like in the headspace for this, but someone made mention of it. I can't remember your name, but I acknowledge what you said. It's just, yeah, the lead ability for Giblet is more so meant to be designed for a like end of turn type of scenario. Like you're supposed to continue charging. Like I said in the last video, like, oh, like he only needs to be a 3 energy. And technically he only does need to be a 3 energy, but you still want to be able to charge so you can play some of these other cards that are coming out for this deck, right? So let's just talk about Giblet real quick. I've already talked about him before, and I just wanted to paraphrase that like I'm kind of understanding how this deck kind of works a little bit better than I did in the last video. So thank you to the person that gave me the tidbit of information for that. Anyway, so he's got an activate main where you place 1 energy into your drop, and then if you have 2 or less energy, you add up to 2 battle cards from your drop to your energy. Then if you would add a card to its owner's energy during this turn, you would place that card into its owner's drop instead. So basically, you're playing cards. As you're playing cards, you're activating these effects. You're activating these effects of these other battle cards, and then at the end of your turn, when you're trying to sit anyway at around 3 energy, that's when you activate this ability to go down to 2, boost yourself back up to give yourself 2 more energy, I guess, and then you would just ramp yourself back down again, or you would ramp yourself back down again. This is like a in case of emergency type button, I guess, from what it was kind of explained to me. Is like you're not like you're still charging up like you normally would, but you want, for some of these other cards, you want to be charging up to 4 and 5 energy just to be able to get to be able to play other things. So it's still an interesting deck, still a very interesting concept. We'll just have to kind of see what the rest of this support kind of looks like, right? So anyway, so now we're gonna get on to some of the new green reveals for this deck. First, we got Hit. Hit is a Self-Awakener, 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo. When attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, you choose all battle cards with costs of 1 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO them. I mean, this is a really good card against Halo Coup, which oddly enough, in my time on the client during set 6, I've not really seen Halo Coup a whole lot. So, not 100% sure what's going on with that, but considering that he's still like a dominant deck in the format. But yeah, I mean, green having an option to remove 1 cost is pretty solid. So, and Self-Awakener, and you're all with this deck, you're more than likely always going to be at a lesser energy than your opponent. Just more so towards the later game than in the mid game, more so than the beginning of the game. So, kind of keep that in mind. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. Then we got Super Baby 2, 2 cost, 20k power, 5k combo, who's another Self-Awakener. And then when attacking, he draws a card and then discards a card. I mean, you know, hand cycling is not the worst like mechanic in the game. It can be pretty useful depending on the deck that you're playing. The new Broly in set 6 is utilizing that with his activate main. And it can come in handy. It allows you to remove unwanted cards and potentially get something that you do need back. So I mean, this is fine as well. This is a generic card that you can just throw in any green deck, and it could probably work for you decently well. So, which is always good. I was a little concerned when we saw a lot of these initial reveals for these decks that they were all going to be leader locked, and it's nice that they're not all going to be leader locked. So, that's good. That's good. Then we got 2 of the SRs that are going to be in the deck. First, we got Golden Frieza, 3 cost, 25k power, no combo. Permanent skill on your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card in a battle area gets 5,000 power. Then on play, if your leader is Giblet, you draw a card, and then you can Self-Awaken. This isn't a bad, this is a very decent generic card. probably not going to run it outside of Giblet, just because the on play only specifically works in Giblet. And the stat line's all not that great. In Giblet, though, this card should actually be really good. Yeah, being a 30k power card for 3 energy, this card's going to be great in the later game. And then if your leader is Giblet, you draw a card and then you can self-awaken. You're basically, this is going to be a quid pro quo, I guess. That might be the wrong word. Don't excuse me on that. But you basically play this on turn 3 to self-awaken Giblet. Hopefully you're at 5 life to be able to then activate this. Take yourself down to 4 and then start utilizing his ramp shenanigans. And then later in the game, he allows you to, like, he goes up to a 30k swinger, which is actually pretty solid. So then we got Shallot, 4 cost, 30k power, 5k combo. Permanent skill on your turn. If you have less energy than your opponent, this card in a battle area gets 5,000 power. On play, place 2 energy. Place 2 of your energy in your drop, and then if your leader is Giblet, draw 1 card. Then add up to 1 battle card with your from your drop to its owner's energy. So basically, on turn 4, the way this kind of works is that on turn 4, you play this guy. You take 2 of that empty energy to then ramp yourself back down to 2. Then you draw a card to replace this guy in hand. Then you are placing 1 card in your drop into your energy to go back to 3. That puts you at the requirement for Giblet's awakened ability, which will then allow you, let me go back to the Giblet ability, which then allows you to place 1 of your energy into your drop. So you take 1 of your dead energy, put it in the drop, and then you add to go back down to 2, and then you go to 3. Or you go back up to 4. And then you have 3 open energy to kind of do whatever you want. You can then play this Golden Frieza if you wanted to. Yeah, you could play this Golden Frieza if you wanted to. You could play the hit. You could play the baby. Like there's a bunch of things that you can do by doing this mechanic. And then obviously at the end of your turn, because you added a card from to your energy, you would then take 1 card and remove it. So going back down to 3, basically. You're not always going to utilize this ability. You're going to specifically use this ability when the play line is right to do so. So like if you have a turn where you don't see this Shallot, you're probably going to be playing some of these 3 costs or 2 costs and stuff. And you're probably still going to be charging up to maybe like 5 energy at the end of it. But again, testing is going to need to be done on these decks to really understand how these decks are going to play out. But yeah, should be interesting. But we do have a bunch of other green support here. So we got Ginanman. I might have to zoom in just a little bit. Oh my god, that's zoomed in so far. All right, let me, there we go. Okay, so I zoomed in a bit. So we have super combo Ginanman, Legends Original. He's just a super combo, nothing crazy. We got Goku Black, 5 cost, 35k power, 0 combo, who's a crit. And then on play, you place 2 of your energy into your owner's drop, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's battle area, and KO it. So, again, just like Shallot, you're going to play this guy at 5 energy, you're going to pay 5 whole energy, you're going to go back down to 3. Then you're going to get this effect, you're going to activate Giblet's ability, you're going to then go back up to 4. With open energy, and then it allows you to play like any of your other additional play lines after that. So yeah, it's basically it's a trickle down effect. You're basically only utilizing the effect when it works for the play lines that you have. Giblet, 3 cost, 20k power, 10k combo. Blocker, where if your leader is Giblet, you add up to 2 cards from your life to your hand. Wow. Up to 2 card self-awakening. That's pretty good. Mayan Blue was like that in set 1. She doesn't see as much use nowadays, but she can have some time in the sun. Kid Goku can utilize her. Goku Black still utilizes her. I'm sure that, you know, Halo Ku to an extent maybe uses Mai on occasion, depending on your build. It really, like, having the ability to just take 2 life is always, like, a good thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Not a bad card. 3-cost Cell, 25k power, 5k combo, Self-Awakener on play. Then when attacking, if you have less energy than your opponent, choose up to one card with a cost of 4 or less and add it to the owner's energy in rest mode. If I understood correctly, if I would understand correctly, utilizing that cell to ramp your opponent and then utilizing Giblet's skill here will allow you to actually remove, will actually let you put it in the drop instead. Where'd it go? Because it takes a 4 cost and it ramps it into its owner's energy in rest mode. And then if you would add a card to its owner's energy during this turn, you would place that card in its owner's drop instead. So yeah, you could, yeah, so like if you're going first, and on turn 3 your opponent would play a 4 cost, you can then play this on your turn 4, I guess, or your turn 3. Would it need to be turn 3? Maybe I'm thinking turn 2nd. If your opponent's going 2nd and they play a 4 cost, like, I don't know. I'm confusing myself. But yeah, like basically utilizing this skill and then activating the main ability of Giblet allows you to put it in the drop instead, so you're not actually ramping them, you're just removing them. So that's solid. That's solid. Then we got Turles. 4 cost, 30k power, 5k combo. Why is it that Turles always gets 30k combo cards? I think that's always funny to me. On play, place 2 of your energy into their owner's drop. Then if your leader is Giblet, this card gains double strike for the turn. Then add up to 1 battle card from your drop to its energy. Okay, so you can choose to put 2 energy into your drop. And if you do, he gains double strike. If you choose not to do this, then you can just add 1 energy from your drop to your energy. Or 1 card from your drop to your energy. It's not bad. Double strike is always good. And it's also like optional. You don't necessarily have to ramp 1 up if you don't want to. This is a solid card too. Seems like Giblet's getting some really solid support. I'm very happy about that. Then we got our 2 extra cards. We have Saiyan Born of Fury and Hate. 1 cost. Activate battle. Your card that is in a battle gets 15,000 power for the battle. Then if your leader is Giblet and you have less energy than your opponent, it gains... Okay, so this is Gigantic Meteor for Giblet. Which is good. Gigantic Meteor was always a strong card. And with how much open energy you're going to be having after utilizing your leader effect, like this, having cards like this is actually very solid. It allows you to put a little extra aggression into your opponent. Or if you wanted to leave it open for defense, you can. So I think that's pretty cool. Then we have Twisted Morality, 2 costs. Activate main. Place 1 of your energy into its owner's drop. If your leader is Giblet, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 4 or less, and up to 1 battle card with a cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO him. That's a pretty good board wipe. That's not bad. If your opponent is playing on curve, if your opponent's playing on curve and you play this card, like they're gonna have a 3 cost and a 4 cost potentially on board at the same time. Like you're removing their board completely. And then you're placing 1 of your energy into the drop. So you're probably only activating this after you use your leader ability, because it might be a little harder to do this after utilizing the leader ability, depending on what you play beforehand. So this is all pretty cool. Giblet is looking like pretty interesting. He's looking like a lot of fun. I'm actually excited to play Giblet. Now Shallot, on the other hand, we're gonna have to see. Shallot seems to have a more balanced effect, and I just don't know how good he's going to end up being, but we'll take a look. So let's refresh on what Shallot does. Shallot does not draw on his front side, but he keeps his awakened ability on his front side, which is just interesting. The odds are I ran some scenarios in my head. The odds that you are going to be able to get that leader ability off on your unawakened side is a very minuscule. You maybe will be activating this one time, and even if you activate this one time, depending on the card that you have in hand, because spoiler alert, there's going to be a little bit of a thing with this. A lot of his cards are going to be 6-cost 10k combos. So depending on what card you end up having, it may not even be worthwhile to use this ability. But you're probably not going past turn 4 without awakening. So we'll have to see how this pans out. But his awakened ability, his leader ability is activate main, pay 4 energy to play up to 1 battle card with 10k combo power and Saiyan and its special traits from your hand. Yeah, and again, a lot of these cards are going to be 6-cost cards. So we're going to start with Beerus here. Beerus is a 2-cost, 20k power, 0 combo card, where he's a crit. And then if your leader is Shallot, you can self-awaken up to 1 card. Then look at the top 3 cards of your deck and place them at the top of your deck in any order. This card's not bad. I don't mind this card whatsoever. What's kind of cool about this guy is that he self-awakens. He's a crit, so he's offering some... he's giving your opponent some leverage, I guess. And then he's cycling your deck, which is something that we haven't really seen much of since Bardock. So that's pretty cool. Just being able to set up what your next couple turns are going to look like, I think is pretty sweet. Yeah, I like this card a lot. This card's actually pretty good. Then we got a Trunks Future, 1 cost, 5k combo, 5k power, 10k combo. Activate main once per turn. You pay 1 energy. Place 1 card from your hand on top of the owner's deck. And then if you don't have an energy marker, you place 1 energy marker. So, I mean, this isn't like the worst card. I've seen a lot of discussion about this card being like, oh, it's just Dr. Mew. It's, you know, every other card in black that kind of does this. But it's the fact that it's a 10k combo, which is solid. It's the fact that your card isn't going in the drop. It's not going to the bottom of your deck. It's going to the top of your deck. So that's fine. If you have a card that's in your hand that you can't play this turn, but you want to play next turn, or if there's something that you don't necessarily need in that moment, you can just put it on top of your deck, get it back the following turn, and then you place an energy marker. And I don't know how much of this deck is going to be utilizing energy markers, but maybe it's worthwhile having. I mean, and then again, this is a generic card. You can run this in Bardock. This card is probably better to use in Bardock than Kakarot, by that, you know, thing. So, like, keep that in mind. Like, this might not necessarily be Shallot support. This might actually be like Bardock support. So, just keep that in mind. That some of these cards like may not necessarily be meant for these decks, but we'll see. Then we got our 2 SRs for the deck. So they're both 6 costs. We have Son Goku in the Bardock. This is the tag Goku and Bardock unit in Legends. Really fun unit. Wish Legends would do more original units like that, but I mean, that's a whole different discussion. Anyway, 6 costs, 35k power, 10k combo. When attacking once per turn, choose up to 1 battle card with a cost of 2 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. That's probably a little underwhelming, but I guess if you're on your unawakened side and you play this guy, like, you're gonna get more value out of this on his unawakened side than his awakened side. We'll see. He's also got an activate main where once per turn you discard 1 card from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. Then if the revealed card's cost is 6, you switch this guy to active mode. So he's 35k double swing, basically. Which is that's not a bad ability either. But notice how it says if the card revealed is a 6 cost. That's where I'm saying a lot of these cards for this deck are probably going to be 6 cost cards. So that's definitely going to be something to keep in mind while playing this deck. Pretty decent SR. And then we have a Son Gohan Childhood, the Father-Son Kamehameha from Legends. 6 cost, 35k power, 10k combo. On play, reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. If the revealed card's cost is 6, choose up to 1 card in your opponent's battle area and KO it. That's not a bad play either. So basically, you kind of want to utilize, especially like later in the game. Like, this is where like Trunks can come in handy. in the later game. You basically play, if you're at 5 or 6 energy, you play this guy for 1 energy to then put a 6 cost on top of your deck, right? And then if you have one of these 6 cost cards in your hand, you then use your leader ability to play them to then reveal the 6 cost card, and then you can get these effects off. There is a means of being able to acquire those abilities. It's given to us here, but it is not as good, in my opinion, as the Giblet ability. At least in my opinion. We'll see how it kind of looks in testing, but I think the support that Giblet got is probably just a little bit better. And this is a bit more balanced and niche compared to what Giblet's doing. Giblet is kind of more generic than anything else. He's a more generic type of leader, whereas this is not as generic. You kind of need to build your deck in a certain way in order to really get Shallot's abilities off. All right, and then here's the rest of his support. So we got King Khan Men, which is the super combo. We got Zaha. No tags on Zaha. That's interesting. Why couldn't we... I mean, he's from the Demon Realm. He's got the pointy ears. Can we not add Demon Clan or not Demon Clan, but could we not add Demon World into this in any way? Like I don't understand the no tag thing here. When we or like if there's tag, does Zaha have tags in Legends? I'm gonna pause here real quick. I'm gonna go look into it and just see what his tags are in Legends and just see if there's something we can work with. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, so I went and looked up the character in Legends, and these are the tags that he has. He has Weapon Wielder and 5th, which I'm assuming is a new tag they put for all the anniversary characters. So he released on the 5th anniversary. So this guy doesn't really have tags. He is a Game Originals. So that, I mean, unfortunately, that doesn't really help us in this particular situation. But I don't know. I feel like they could have at least like loosened up the rules a little bit. Since he has pointy ears, and pointy ears generally means they're kind of from the Demon Realm, then put Demon Realm in there. Why not? There might be some Daima support in black down the road. So why not? I don't know. Anyway, Zaha's a 1-cost, 15k power, 5k combo. When attacking, if there is a battle card with a cost of 6 in your battle area, look at 2 cards from the top of your deck and use up to 1 battle card in a combo. Place the rest at the top of its deck in any order. All right, yep, so you're utilizing this guy more so towards the later game. You're free playing a 6-cost off of the Shallot leader. And then this guy is going to allow you to basically scry your deck to then combo something, and then you're basically cycling the rest out there. So I think that's cool. Again, it allows you to do more setup, which I think is not a bad thing. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's a 1-cost that you can't use till the later game. So it's an interesting card design. Then we got Son Goku, 6-cost vanilla, 40k power, 10k combo. This is good to have for the deck, just having an additional 6-cost to run. And this is like the original. This is like the first sparking character in Legends too. So that I think that's pretty neat as well. Bulma, 1-cost, 5k power, 5k combo. On play, if your leader is Shallot, look at 4 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 battle card with a cost of 6 or less and 10k combo power, and add it to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your owner's deck in a random order. This is good because it allows you to find your 6 costs, and you're going to be running a lot of 6 costs. If you buy 2 of these starter decks, the SRs are only going to come... These SRs are only going to come in a 2 of. So you want to probably get 2 starter decks so you can have a full playset. So you're going to be running 4 of this, 4 of this, probably 4 of the Son Goku as well. And then there was the Majin Vegeta that we've seen as well, who's a 6-cost. You're probably running that at a 4 of as well. So you're going to have 16 cards to look through your deck for and actually find, which should be relatively easy. Hopefully, right? Like odds are, if like by the time you play this card, if you don't have a 6-cost in your hand, you're probably going to find a 6-cost in the top 4. So, but you're putting the rest at the bottom of your deck, which kind of sucks. So, kind of keeping that in mind. Then we got Vegito, 2 costs, 20k power, 5k combo. Permanent skill. Increase the cost of this card in a deck or battle area by 4. That's great. So this is a 6 cost just for 2 energy, which is fantastic. And then on play, place one card from your hand on top of its owner's deck. If your leader is Shallot and you don't have an energy marker, you place a marker. Okay, so he generates a marker, and then he's a 6 cost. I understand why they kept him at 20. 5K is fine. Yeah, I don't have an issue with this card. Again, though, how is there anything? I don't think there's anything that's utilizing the marker in this deck. I guess they're putting this in as a means of either extra plays, or if you're going to be running more generic like black type stuff in this deck, like it allows you to kind of get the effects off of that, like secret rare maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is good. That's a good card too. All right, then we got the extra cards. We got Burning Power of Instinct, 1 cost. Activate main if there is a battle card with a cost of 6 in your battle area. Choose up to 2 battle cards with a cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO them. I mean, with this guy, it's not going to be all that hard to get this off in the early game. So that's cool. That's cool. Then we got I'm going to end you, 1 cost. Activate battle. Your cards that are in a battle area get 15,000 power for the battle. Then, if there is a battle card with a cost of 6 in your battle area, draw 1 card. So this is Gallic Gun in black. We got a Gallic Gun in black, everybody. That's pretty cool. If a cost of 6, this probably won't get used in other generic like black decks, and it's not going to get used in Bardock. Probably, it's not going to get used in. It might get used in Gogeta. Maybe it would get used in Gogeta with the SR Gogeta. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Shallot support's looking a little better than I would expect. It's still going to be kind of a niche way to play because you have to rely on these 6 costs. But I see what they're trying to go for here. Any concern that I had for the Shallot deck has more or less been kind of put aside. And I have faith that Shallot will be decent at this point. It'll be decent. Whether he'll be better than Giblet, I don't know. Giblet, I think, just has better generic support. We'll have to see. I'm excited to play these decks. I am. Set 6 kind of left much to be desired for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people too. So having this is good. I think spicing up the game a little bit with this, I think is fine. And then the manga booster is like 2 weeks after this, so we're gonna get a lot. Set 6, it's kind of weird how set 6 is like getting completely like passed aside. And maybe that was the point. Maybe set 6 was meant to be 5.5, because all of the energy is going into you know, these starter decks, and it's going into the manga set. Like, we'll see. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. What do you guys think of these starter decks? Are you guys going to be picking these up? What do you guys think? I'm excited for it. I started this channel off with Legends, believe it or not. If you're joining the channel for Fusion World, this channel started because of Legends. So the fact that we're going to be doing some sort of Legends collaboration with Fusion World, I think is really cool, and I'm very excited for it. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Like and subscribe if you want to see more Fusion World content videos, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.